So,
you know,
you got two projects that I think kind of go into that. Cold War.
Heroin Heat.
Cold War, Heroin Heat. And also the Black Power, white powder, Black Power, right?
So those kind of dovetail. Like the white powder, Black Power is the street side of what, who's the most marginalized economic group in the country who is also in the big cities? Well, as you get into the late 60s, early 70s, just as a lot of blacks are finally, enough blacks are in the big cities to like, oh, we're getting a little political and economic power. Well, the industrial economy is starting to change and go down. So if you were black, if you didn't make it into that, if your family didn't make it into that going to college thing by the early 70s, you were kind of left out in the cold. You're still in the projects, you know, and the industrial jobs are by the year is less and less. Why did YBI arise? Well, it was less and less auto jobs.
Well, that's what that was about.
I mean, your father and them had it organized like you work an 8-hour shift, you get overtime.
They modeled the business after
double pay on Christmas, all that.
5-day, 40-hour work week, double time if you work the spot.
Because they could do it.
Yeah.
So
that's what they knew. And they knew how the plant worked.
The plant was a hard, listen,
Yeah.
for all of you that think, one of the more interesting fields of study, it has got nothing to do with crime, so I haven't talked about that much, but is studying what was plant life. The amount of death, the plants were more dangerous than the streets. Plants were more dangerous than the streets.
And he loses his thumb at the plant.
And got paid.
Which is
said, I'd rather sell dope.
And which is what got him the $3,800 settlement check that he bought his first bag with.
There was a plant, the there was a plant on the east side, the Eldrum Axle or something. It was so bad. There was a case, well, maybe that'll be my Black History Month story. There was a black auto worker who goes into this plant on the east side.
Oh yeah, happy Black History Month.
Murders 3 white co-workers. Goes on trial. The mostly white jury finds him not guilty by reason of insanity because the conditions in the plant were so bad. Inch of oil on the floor, so you're working standing in oil. They forced the Chrysler lawyers to admit there were times when a person's part of their finger got chopped off in the morning. You back at work at noon. You don't even go home. Some black female, like she was like considered a janitor. She got like a thrombosis, you know, like your veins swell up in her leg. They were like, nah, you gotta come to work, just be in a wheelchair. She dies like at work, you know, like people. The plant was more. Some of those plants, a lot of where they had the black workers, Dodge, Maine, the Eldrum plant, the older plants, the certain type of parts of the process, the foundries, where a lot of the black workers were at, but also poor white workers, but mostly black. It was more dangerous. Between getting maimed and dying, it was more dangerous to stand and selling dope in the Brewster projects. Like, I've calculated the statistics.
Wow. Wow.
And now they just, oh, those unions ruined everything and they had it so easy. My father quit too. He said he got a job at Cray. He's like, I'm not doing this shit.
Pops, that's when he went to driving the bus. He tried the plant because the plant was good. He lasted about 3 days at the plant.
I can't do it.
He said, I take the bus over this. At least I get to be outside, talk to people, because he's like that plant life.
That's why the heroin was so big, probably because a lot, like friends of mine I had whose family members worked in the plant. As I got older, I realized, like, oh, your blah blah has probably been to their whole life, because that's how they work at the plant. Because that shit is so mind-numbing and hard. It's not as bad now, but even now it's not easy. But back 1979, you black woman at GM, like, man, they got you doing some bullshit.
As late as the 90s.
Lift this up. Do this 7,000 times a day for 30 years.
As late as the 90s, you knew that the best time to get your bag out there was before that first shift. About 5 o'clock.
And it depended on what plant you was at, too.
Yeah.
Depending on what plant. Some of the plant, like Dodge, Maine, was notorious.
We was over there by Jefferson plant on St. Jean. So we was on French Road. So you had to know at 5 o'clock you was gonna get that rush.
Like,
everybody to go.
You got something I wanted to work in. We that script we have about the Detroit economy and drug trade, the city of dope thing.
You got to do that.
One of the plot lines that I have in there is about Dodge Revolutionary Union movement, which was a combination of like a black militant with union. Because you had certain plants that were like 95% black workers, and those had the most industrial accidents, the most deaths, the most maimings. They were more violent than the streets.
We need to do that. See, we can talk about all of it's tied in. The international shit, the street stuff. The people don't. It's all connected. Society, because people is people.
You don't say.
People is people, right? People at the plant got a real life and they having to make decisions.
You mean this only exists because some Asian child is doing this all day for 75 cents?
This phone that was $1,500 by right should be $15,000.
Yeah.
But the cobalt that's in it.
Oh, not to mention Africa.
So they got some little girl in Africa. So that y'all can go to the iStore.
Got no fingers.
Ain't got no fingers, so y'all can only pay
for real
$1,500 for your phone because they only paying her a penny a day, $1 a day.
Well, we supposed to get worked up about Kanye West.
No, they gonna tell me that we destroyed the neighborhood. Not Apple. Not Apple, right?
Right.
Not Apple, not Google, no. Y'all made $2, and it's y'all fault this shit fucked.
No, human being, the more you know, like, human beings are pretty disturbed and disturbing, like, all across the board.
So your guys, check that out. Cold War, heroin heat.
White powder, black power.
White power, black power.
No, don't say white power.
No.
White powder, black power.
White powder, black power.
Because
you got some stuff that we did from back in the day to talk about, speaking of black history. Milton Henry, the lawyer, of course.
Fascinating.
Republic of New Africa.
The intersection of the black drug kingpins with the black militant movement, which of course ended very badly. I mean, by 1974, you have the Mad Dog Killer, what's his name?
Hayward Brown.
Who himself was killed near the Brewster Projects in 1985 for a $10 bag of dope.
Yeah.
Forgotten.
And so if you watch all of that stuff, you of course obviously watch Motown Mafia.
Go to their channel.
Lou, producer.
They have 100. How many? What do you guys have? 100 clips up?
We got 300 clips up.
We got about getting close to 400.
So that's Big Lou.
So what's that? Big Boss Filmworks.
Big Boss Filmworks.
Big Boss Filmworks. Yeah, at YouTube. Of course, and then you can hear the audio on Spotify. We got all kind of hot stuff coming. Patreon channel about to be released.
Yes. Patreon channel February 6th.
February 6th release date.
These fancy jackets don't buy themselves. I need some.
Is this one of your American Dope jackets?
Might be.
Obviously, unless you follow this stuff, you've been under a rock. Obviously, you know what Al's doing amazing things over at American Dope. We trying to network some stuff with this American Dope apparel, make it accessible to the people right here in the D.
Oh well, all across the world.
All across the world.
You're gonna use your logistics and distribution skills from me.
Yeah, I mean,
for good.
I'm not even gonna say I'm number one. I'm probably apparel wise, I'm top 400. Brothers are making some money. There's a Yiddish word called swatza. It means the rag. I've sold a lot of swatza in my life.
We're going to sell some more.
We're going to sell some more. Yeah, we're making it happen. And we got a special guest that's sitting in on. It's a brother by the name of KK.
All right.
Famous, of course, you guys may have seen him. We follow this kind of stuff. He was
Beautiful Mind.
Featured on Blowing Money Fast, the BMF documentary, episode 2. Of course, him and his brother, Lawrence.
Well, he's featured on the fictionalized.
No, they did him on the doc.
Oh, they had him on both.
With Scott, he on both.
Oh.
Yeah. Episode 2.
They got a character.
Right, that's what I thought. I didn't know you were in the
fictionalized. So in the Blowing Money Fast doc, he's actually interviewed, so you get it right from his mouth. And then on the fictionalized.
I'll have to go watch it.
On the fictionalized, in season 2, there's a character by the name of K-9, which is based. K-9. It's a hybrid. I think it's a hybrid.
Oh, it's all you and your
it's like I think they're like.
K-9 is my brother.
Here's your brother. You don't think they kind of merged both the characters?
KK Dog.
Because when I get the
Dog
KK,
is
the K9
K9.
is Dog, but it seemed like, well, you guys gonna have to read his book, and then making some arrangements. Don't be surprised if he's on American Dope.
Don't be surprised.
and
but it's gonna be something for sale when he like me. He's saving it till he got his.
He got to save because I mean this guy's got a phenomenal story. See, everybody in this town knows his name. Him and his brother's name been ringing for the last, and his father, legend down the project. So people around this town have known.
Which projects is that? The Brewsters, not the Jeffries.
The Brewsters, but you know they was family. Brewsters and Jeffries.
But there was a little, it was different families in each one. It was kind of a.
Well, I went to school over there. Murray Wright is a Jeffrey project.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
But what was the Brewster school? Eastern or something?
Northeast.
Oh, but they closed that in the early 80s.
82.
Oh, so all them. Okay, so both projects was going.
Because when I say the projects, I really be just talking about Brewsters and Jeffries.
Yeah.
I just see them.
But it is kind of two.
It is two different. Yeah.
Which one was Brewster's was slightly bigger, but Jeffries was big.
Jeffries was big.
Two sides.
Yeah,
Two sides.
Oh,
You
Jeffries
get the
was
low
a
rises
town.
and the high rises.
Well, so did Brewster's.
That's true.
Those are two of the bigger public housing projects in the country. The only things bigger was a few in New York and like Robert Taylor, but like
Chicago,
nothing in
the
LA.
Rainy Green.
Nothing in
Cabrini.
LA. The biggest in LA was the same exact layout and size as Herman Gardens, which was big, but wasn't as big as Brewster's and Jeffries.
Yeah. No. Yeah. But there's a lot of
Synergy.
A lot of synergy between Brewsters and Jeffries for sure. Our family, we was in the Jeffries. Well, Mama's side of the family's in the Jeffrey. Papa and all them from Black Bottom, they all was basically the Brewsters. Because when they say the Brewsters, even they wasn't really in the projects. If you lived on the street next to the project, you just say you lived in the projects.
Looks like the Valley.
Same. Yeah, it's all good. So a lot of history, man. Thank you for sitting in on this, brother KK.
I appreciate you guys.
We'll talk to you soon. Thank you.
Very soon.
So yeah, Motown Mafia podcast in conjunction with Al Prophet American Dope. We've been at it for a minute, man. This thing is going. We got to get these projects done, Al. I know you're busy getting a lot of money nowadays.
No, I mean it's people don't want to work these days.
Nobody want.
Maybe now that they stop giving out that goddamn free money and free rent.
Some motivation might come back. Some motivation.
Some thug motivation. No, dude, you ain't got to pay rent, and we gonna give you some money.
And you're gonna pay the utilities, no rent.
And we ain't gonna arrest nobody.
And then eggs cost $20.
Well, no, because
All right,
you got to pay the bill.
you gotta pay the bill.
How much is a carton of eggs?
About $10 now.
And what we don't? Oh no, man, it's crazy, Al. It's crazy.
I mean, I don't really. When I go to the grocery store, I just cash out. But
I mean, everybody blessed, but don't forget the struggle, man. The struggle's still real out there, man. The struggle's still real.
I'm trying to forget it.
Your man that popped in and did the intro.
GQ.
GQ. We're gonna do some more stuff coming up. Yeah, so collaborate and bringing some more people under. So we got some police corruption,
Good police.
good the both sides.
He gonna
of the
talk
story.
about police corruption.
He gonna talk.
We ain't got no police corruption.
No. I mean, I'm gonna tell you, it was never personal with me with the police. I mean, they had
I'm just saying we're not currently engaged in any police corruption.
No, we ain't doing no police corruption.
We're all,
That's straight.
yeah, let's
We
get
just
this
content
straight.
creators.
Upstanding citizens.
So it's all good, bro. You
Passed.
good?
Yes.
Anything else want to do?
Well,
Appreciate you.
Pardon my voice. I was screaming at Courtney last night over the loud music
I was gonna say
at the Cabaret Hall.
the Cabaret Hall on Michigan Avenue. No, I'm sorry.
No, all jokes aside, my damn father is so. You know that phrase, did you grow up in a barn? Well, I did. Because there wasn't no woman in the house. It was just me and my father. To this day, as soon as every time I come visit, my voice hurts because he yelled like we yelled, not like fighting. He just is like a loud, like, and then I got to yell to hear over him.
Y'all loud people.
We are.
That's why we get along. We're loud community.
I had to use my liquor store voice on my father. My vocal cords got weak since
I
I've
was
been
gonna
in
say,
LA.
it wasn't like that last night.
No, well, I had to talk to my father on the phone. I done got soft in L.A. I got to get my liquor store vocal cords back.
All right, fam, appreciate you guys. Make sure you guys are hitting that like, share, and subscribe button. Again, thanks again, Brother KK, for sitting in. You're going to hear a lot more from him. Great stuff. Detroit legend in the house. Al Prophet, American Dope, you doing it. We ain't got to speak no more about it. Big
That's
Lou.
a Fendi fact.
Fendi fact. Big Lou, you good?
I'm good, baby.
All right, this your man, CRB Jr., Big Boss Filmworks, Motown Mafia Podcast. Holla at your man. Peace.
Right, peace.